Andrew Jackson was an American lawyer, planter, general, and statesman who served as the 7th President of the United States from 1829 to 1837. Before being elected to the presidency, he gained fame as a general in the United States Army and served in both houses of the U.S. Congress. Although often praised as an advocate for ordinary Americans and for his work in preserving the Union of States, Jackson has also been criticized for his racial policies, particularly his treatment of Native Americans. Andrew Jackson was born in the colonial Carolinas before the American Revolutionary War. Since Sunday, March 15, 1767, he became a frontier lawyer and married Rachel Donaldson Roberts. He served briefly in the United States House of Representatives and the United States Senate, representing Tennessee. After resigning, he served as a justice on the Tennessee Supreme Court from 1798 until 1804. Jackson purchased a property later known as the Hermitage, becoming a wealthy planter who owned hundreds of African American slaves. In 1801, he was appointed colonel of the Tennessee militia and was elected its commander the following year. He led troops during the Red Stick War of 1813 through 1814, winning the Battle of Horseshoe Bend. The subsequent Treaty of Fort Jackson required the Greek to surrender vast tracts of present-day Alabama and Georgia. In the concurrent war against the British, Andrew Jackson's victory at the Battle of New Orleans in 1815 made him a national hero. He later commanded U.S. forces in the First Seminole War, which led to the annexation of Florida from Spain. Jackson briefly served as Florida's first territorial governor before returning to the Senate. He ran for president in 1824, winning a plurality of the popular and electoral vote, but no candidate won an electoral majority. In a contingent election, the House of Representatives elected John Quincy Adams with Henry Clay's support. Jackson's supporters alleged that there was a corrupt bargain between Adams and Clay and began creating their own political organization that would eventually become the Democratic Party. Jackson ran again in 1828, defeating Adams in a landslide. In 1830, he signed the Indian Removal Act. This act, which has been described as ethnic cleansing, displaced tens of thousands of Native Americans from their ancestral homelands east of the Mississippi and resulted in thousands of deaths. Jackson faced a challenge to the federal union when South Carolina threatened to nullify a high protective tariff set by the federal government. He threatened the use of military force to enforce the tariff, but the crisis was diffused when it was amended. In 1832, he vetoed a bill by Congress to reauthorize the Second Bank of the United States, arguing that it was a corrupt institution that benefited the wealthy. After a lengthy struggle, he and his allies dismantled the bank. In 1835, Jackson became the only president to pay off the national debt. He also survived the first assassination attempt on a sitting president. In one of his final presidential acts, he recognized the Republic of Texas. In his retirement, Jackson stayed active in politics. He supported the presidencies of Martin Van Buren and James K. Polk, as well as the annexation of Texas, which was accomplished shortly before his death. Jackson's legacy remains controversial, and opinions on him are frequently polarized. He has been seen as a defender of democracy and the Constitution and also been called a demagogue who ignored the law when it suited him. His opposition towards abolition and his role in the destruction of Native American societies continue to be topics of debate. Jackson generally ranks high in ratings of U.S. presidents, although his ranking has declined in the 21st century. Andrew Jackson's cause of death is from a congestive heart failure since Sunday, June 8, 1845.
If you want to learn more about Andrew Jackson, you get the idea. But anyways, that is it for the 44th commentary blog.